The first time we did sugaring, like, I can't remember if she had used powder, but like it had hurt more, and I was like, I'm coming back for this. And then the second time, when she used the powder, hello. Hey guys, it's another episode of Be Carried Away with me, and today we're going to the spa. Can you guess what we're getting done? Hi.
Hello.
Hi Roxy.
How are you?
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you. It's a sugar day. It's so pretty. The sugar looks like candy when you first start. It's so transparent and golden in color, but by the ending, when it actually picks up the powder, it picks up probably dead skin cells, and here it changes to an opaque color. So nothing's wrong when you guys watch and you see that the sugar ball doesn't look like how it looked in the beginning. It's normal, it's what happens, it's part of the process. Now guys, so that I'm completely transparent with you, I actually am using about 3 or 4 visits to the sugarist, and I combined them all to make this video. So you're gonna see it looking like if I'm going from one location, because she has 2 locations, one at Divi Southwinds and one at Coverley, and you're gonna see her hair changing style throughout the video. It's because I've meshed together at least 3 to 4 visits. I want to know, what are the benefits of sugaring?
You get a smooth vagina.
Why sugaring over waxing?
Why sugar over waxing?
Or shaving?
Oh, definitely over shaving. Because with shaving, what you really do is cutting the hair in half. And you're more prone to ingrown hairs like that. So when you cut the hair in half, so we have naturally curly hair. So our hair most of the time doubles back. So that itching that you feel, it isn't necessarily itching, it's a sticking of the top of the hair shaft that you have just cut off. Again, with shaving, you gotta do at least every 2-3 days. With sugaring, because it comes out from the root, so when you apply the sugar paste, it literally coats the epidermis of the skin and it sits there, so it goes to the bottom of the hair shaft. So when you pull the hair out from the hair shaft. Now with waxing versus sugaring, with wax, it's actually a chemical that you're using, so it's a literal chemical. You have to heat this chemical, then apply it to the skin. Now, a number of things can happen when you do that. Persons can be sensitive, because it's a chemical, persons can have sensitive reactions to it. sorry, allergic reactions to it. And then the heat now, because the genital area is so sensitive and so, I don't know, prone to a whole lot of stuff, that heat sometimes causes blisters. You just have some real adverse effects. So you gotta take in consideration the contraindications. Is your client allergic to the chemical in the wax? Is the heat too much for them? And there are some persons who, no matter how cool the wax is, they still have a reaction to it because the genital area is quite sensitive. Sugar is fantastic because it is what it says it is. It is just sugar. So it's literally just holding a soft candy in your hand. I'm manipulating it and applying it to the skin. So you don't have those reactions like the burns, the sensitivity, the scarring of the skin, sometimes the tearing of the skin. Because I've had, with waxing, I've had clients that the skin literally came off in my hand.
Wow.
Because of the chemical. Remember, it's a chemical. So, one lady especially, she just comes to mind. No matter what kind of wax I use on her, no matter the temperature of the wax, her skin literally came off every time. I found that since we started sugaring her, she is fantastic.
I'm sorry, she came back and got a wax more than once after losing skin?
Mm-hmm. Because she was so used to it, the person she was going to before me, it used to happen too. So when it first happened to me, I freaked out. Mm-hmm. She did not, because she was used to it. I had never had anybody that happened to. So she was like, yeah man, this happened all the time. And I'm like, really?
That's not normal.
No, it's not normal. So I went away that evening. I was scared. Because I called her the next day. The next day after that, I had to check up on her. What are you applying to it? That kind of thing. But I'm telling her, you shouldn't have to go through that. A few months after that, then I discovered sugaring. When we started sugaring, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. She didn't have any reaction to the sugar at all. She didn't have any blisters, any tearing of the skin, any ingrown hair. And I have not had a single client that has had an adverse reaction to sugar.
Okay.
And 100% of my clients have never gone back to waxing. Never.
Completely understood.
And you know, they're the myths that one hurts more than the other. The pain level, or well, let me say the discomfort that is felt, is the hair coming from the root. I guess why people say that sugaring hurts more than waxing is because obviously if more hair comes out at any particular time, you're going to feel all those strands of hair coming out. Mm-hmm. So that is why it probably feels as if.
But then it's faster then.
It's much faster. You don't have the issue of what you call double dipping or transferring something from one client to the next. With waxing, you have to use sticks and strips. The double dipping comes with when you use a stick, you do one stick in the wax more than once. Seems like that was a problem in the past. With sugaring, because you use one ball, and this ball can't be reused after. So when I'm finished with this client, that's it. So there's no transfer of anything from one client to another, so it's very, very hygienic. That's another reason I love it instead of waxing. Shaving, let's not even talk about shaving. Shaving is
What about people who NAIR? Because I feel like NAIR is like relaxer, like how you do relaxer for your hair.
You see, that's another chemical. Right. For that. Right, perfect. That's another chemical. So again, you got to look at the contraindications. Who's allergic to it, that kind of stuff. You can't let the NAIR touch certain parts like your clit. So the clitoris is very sensitive. So because it's similar to relaxer, you know, you have to be very, very careful. Persons have gotten burns.
Like chemical burn?
Yes.
Sheesh.
From NAIR and those sort of stuff. That happens with sugar. It's non-existent. That's not going to happen with sugar because it's just sugar. It's literally sugar and lemon juice.
Okay. But then, like you say, they have different types of sugar. Like you would say a hard one versus a soft one. Explain.
Correct. What we're usually using on you is a medium sugar. So, medium sugar is... Okay, so let's start from the hard. Hard sugar, we tend to use on coarser hair. So the coarser the hair, and it doesn't necessarily mean black hair. It's just coarse hair. Because you find Indians have very thick and coarse hair. So you want a consistency that is going to grip the hair shaft, so that when you pull, it comes out. So that's the hard. The hard is for coarser hair. The medium is for hair that isn't as coarse, and the soft is for very fine hair. So the soft you can use on eyebrows, what we call peach fuzz on persons that can be used for that. However, the skill of manipulating the ball of sugar in your hand has a lot to do with it. Because before, initially, I had difficulty using different types of sugar for whatever. So I was finding that the hard was too hard and medium, didn't do what I want to do. But it's all a matter of your room temperature has a lot to do with it. So you would find persons that don't have any AC would use a hard sugar because it uses body heat. I like to use the medium sugar regardless of where I am. So even if I'm in AC or not, I always use medium sugar because I have learned how to manipulate it and how to use it. So my client's body heat plus room temperature really, really has an impact on this. But as time go on and your skill level increase, then you learn how to manipulate too. I find that with harder wax, because it's hard, it takes longer to adhere to the client's skin. The process takes longer. And some clients don't like it anyway. Then clients get too anxious, right? Again, the body heat, it increases. So then it makes this more difficult. So if the client begins to sweat and my powder isn't doing a good enough job of keeping that down, then I would switch my bulb. Okay. Or if the client has a lot of hair, so this is hair, sugar, and
lime juice
and powder mix.
Okay.
So you realize that the color change as we. Sometimes when you go through, because the client has so much hair, it loses that consistency that I like. So then I will switch my ball in the
and get a fresh one. Okay.
Again, that's easier on the client because it's going to grip better. It's going to come out better. So how comfortable my client is always a priority to me. So if I notice that you are reacting a particular way, or if when I pull and I don't get a nice clean strip as I would want, I would switch my ball.
Okay.
You see? I would switch my ball for that reason. And I don't subscribe to the thought of you use one ball through the entire service. That isn't always possible. That isn't always possible. So I tend not to go really numb.
And then sometimes after a really good session, once she's done applying the sugar, ripping the hair out, I said it, ripping the hair out, then you're done. Thank you. Thank you. No complaints. Like, it's a clean job. Everything's lickety split clean. I don't know if that's what I want to say, but everything's clean. That's the end. That's the end of your sugaring appointment. But sometimes that's not the end. As she explained to me, some people actually charge extra for extractions, but she doesn't do that because it's a full service in her head. You came for a clean look, and that's what she wants you to leave with. So sometimes the other part, or what happens after the sugaring, is extractions. So just in case she comes across a ingrown hair, or if she comes across a blackhead, then she will get her magnifying glass and she will get her tweezers and she will go to work. And I don't know if that makes some people uncomfortable, but I love the care that she takes, and I actually like tweezing. Maybe my threshold for pain is really high, but what's that saying? To each his or her own? Yeah, I love how thorough my sugarist is. So sometimes after the sugaring, there's a step 2 of extraction, and that's before she then applies the shea butter to just, quote you, because it's kind of like trauma being caused, because skin, hair, ripping, yeah, she applies a soothing balm afterwards. So listen to her talk about the options.
Shea butter.
Just pure shea butter?
Mm-hmm. And it moves through as well. Because this area is so nice and tender. Or some of them we use. Because simple is better. Sometimes just use Vaseline. And then with the Vaseline, because it's so pure, if there's any sensitivity to the area, it helps to heal it. And persons and allergies and stuff these days, you gotta be so careful, right? So that's it, go baby. Work it.
Yay!
So because the allergies and stuff for persons, and because the ear is so intimate, I tend to go real simple, as opposed to, having these fancy names of stuff. Not saying that fancy names don't work, but I find simple is better.
Okay, so where were we when my battery died? Yeah, because let me just be real. My battery died in the middle. Not in the middle, like 3/4 way during my sugaring session. But I just wanted to pop back in. Done. And just say, like, let me just show you guys. So, baby powder. I'm a fan of baby powder because like when your skin starts to not sweat per se, but kind of sweat because of everything that's happening, and the sugar uses your body heat to melt, so it's yeah. So when it kind of the sugar needs a dry surface to stick to, so then she puts powder. She would have talked about it before, but she sprinkles powder and then she applies it, and then it helps absorb any moisture and then come off. I love powder. My skin loves powder. The first time we did sugaring, I can't remember if she had used powder, but it had hurt more, and I was like, am I coming back for this? And then the second time when she used the powder, hello. Like she literally has a powder and she goes like, this has your name on it. Because my skin loves powder. So yeah, but like I probably got sugared every 6 to 8 weeks depending on my life. But in terms of regrowth, like the hair comes back really thin, really thin. I hardly get ingrowns. I need to work like on my bikini line a bit more because like I find like I got scarring. But other than that, yeah, like I would recommend sugaring. It's not as painful as people think. I was recording during that video and you guys probably saw like my leg flinching every now and again, like but yeah, so it's not like horrible. I've had waxing once. Heat in the waxing, like when it was done, like there were like dots of blood. And waxing, this is not a waxing stand account. Sugaring for sure. So love sugaring. And yeah, that was it for this episode. I just wanted to share some of this sweet knowledge and sweetness with you. And my sugarer is Roxy. There are 2 locations. One is in Coverley and one is at Divi, Southwinds. So yeah, if you want to get sugar, I'll put her contact information down below for her Instagram and her contact information. And tell her that Carrie sent you. Tell her that Carrie sent you. Okay? Be carried away. Sugary sweet with Roxy. Bye. Oh, and guys, remember to subscribe, remember to like, and remember to comment, and I will reply. I reply. Okay? Thank you for all of the support. We passed 8,000 views. And I passed 100 subscribers, and thank you for the growth. Bye.